just means modification. So there are a couple of ways to modify this. Saul was doing a very interesting way with his partner, where literally he was just grabbing inside the collar here and posting out this way, so that it was very difficult for his uke to turn one side because all of his weight was here. And on the other side, if he turned towards me, he'd be choking himself. So that was a pretty interesting little jujitsu move, but that is essentially a Kuzure Tateshiho. The more traditional Kuzure Tateshiho is this arm gets out. And what ends up happening is, what I like to do is you grab your own, I grab my own gi and I hold this arm tight, and with this hand I try and bring it around and grab my own belt or whatever. And the reason I bring this hand around is, again, to get that head up so he can't bridge, because bridging is going to be his key to defense. So if this arm gets out and you're fighting here, you know, I grab my own gi so that I know I have this tight, and then this hand will come around, grab my own belt, and keep that head off the ground. There are a bunch of different Kuzuris to Tateshiho. So those two, is there one that you want to?
Not too many. That's, I mean, you can.
Right.
If you switch slightly to a different hold, different grip, it's Kuzure. That's pretty much what that means.
Right. So, and then a good escape, the traditional escape for this. Do you know any of the escapes?
You can fake one way. You can do the
right.
shrimp. You can.
So we were practicing the shrimp before class, and we were putting our hips forward and pushing, and we went across the mat like that. So that's almost always an escape from any pin. With this one, you're generally going to do it before you get yourself into this terrible situation, and you're going to shrimp your way out. Go ahead. Right. By lifting your hips and pushing me away. Another escape is if you can create space, or you could push against your own elbow. You can push against your own face to create some space here. And once you create that space, you could again just keep pushing against my arms and shoulders and push your way out with the shrimp. So that elbow becomes a pivot for you. If you are able to get your head and shoulders down, you can bridge and take your opponent off to a corner. So you can actually reach over to the back with the other hand. And then just bridge me over to that side by just doing a simple reaching over. So. Generally, the person on the bottom is going to want to create space, and once they're able to create space, shrimp their way out, or create movement and move them and pull them over to a corner that they're weak. So, and is there anything else you want to do?
Actually, if you find somebody who is really good technically and very strong, could you help?
Yeah.
Pretty much all of the moves on the top are not going to be possible. The only thing you can get is try to fight for wrapping your legs around his legs. And usually that's more doable, because when you start moving left and right, start going left and right. Bryan had to respond. Yeah, that's okay, just go back to this position. Now, Bryan, stick this leg out like you did. Now, pull with this hand and just wrap your feet around it.
Right. And once you...
That's the best way to escape from this pin. Usually this is the only way with somebody who is really good. But you have to keep moving left and right to make sure that he has to stick his leg out.
Right. Okay, well, let's try it with some escapes, and then we're going to start fighting from this position. So let's just practice some of these escapes and see how it goes.